Hey, beautiful people, you know what time it is. It is a chat with Rashina. It is 6:21 on October, 3rd, 2023. And I'm sitting in my car at the job. And y'all, I just had the most beautiful time with the Lord this morning. I was like, they're going to think something's wrong with me. I just had a whole ugly crying fit, just thanking and praising God. Listen, I put on Todd Delaney's morning songs. His Delaney, I think it's called Morning Songs, yeah, and it just took me in, just the gratefulness and the thankfulness of God. But as I was praying and worshiping God, the thing that just kept coming out my mouth was, God, I need you. And that was it. And I think sometimes we come before God and we rattle off our list of wants, needs, all those things. And sometimes we feel like we have to have the most eloquent words, but God hears the God, I need you. He hears even the tears that I was shedding this morning. God hears all of that. And hear me, it was not a cry of like, oh God, woe is me. It was just like, God, I need you in my space. I need you in my world. I need you in my details. I need you in every aspect of my life. I cannot live this life without you being in the center of it. And that was my cry this morning. And that was enough. Like, I didn't have the list of things. I didn't have the list of wants, the desires. I didn't rattle off all that stuff because he already knows. But a simple God, I need you. And sometimes we look for quantity, but God is looking for quality. He's looking at the heart posture. So if you get up before God and you say, God, I need you, God, I want you, God, I don't have anything but tears, that's enough. Like, God honors that. He respects that, and he receives that. And guess what? He moves on that. So I don't want you to get caught up in thinking like, I've got to spend hours and hours before God, because God can move in a minute. He can move in a here I am, God, send me. God can move in those little aspects. So don't think because I didn't spend this enormous amount of time with God this morning that he didn't hear you. On my drive to work, like, that's my prayer time. Like, and I'm in the car, it's dark, the atmosphere is set, and that's when I seek God in the mornings, and he's in the middle of that. I think we can get caught up with religious norms. I've got to be on my knees. I've got to have my Bible in front of me. I've got to have all these acts. And I'm doing these religious activities, but God is nowhere in it. But he's in the simple cry, God, I need you. God, I need you in my world. So the encouragement today is like, just get before God. Like, just spend time with God. Spend quality time with God. Whether that's 2 minutes, whether that's 3 hours, whether you read one verse in the Bible or you read a whole chapter, just invite God in and he will dwell in the midst of that. Don't get caught up with the religious systems of norms that we've got to do it this way. It's got to be done this way. I've got to have my hands raised this way, and I've got to be tilted to the side. I've got to be laid prostrate. No, God knows the intent of your heart. He said, in a broken and a contrite heart, he will not despise. God is just wanting you. And if he can get you, he can get everything else. Okay, so the encouragement is just get before God, because he wants to hear your voice. He wants to hear your cry. And God got all these tears this morning, and they were beautiful tears. It was just like, God, I need you. And it was just like an overwhelming sense of like, I can't do this without you, God. And so he honored that. I know he sat in the middle of that. I felt the embrace of God just enveloping me and encouraging me and motivating me and giving me strength for today, because I invited him in. Was it 3 hours? No, it was a 20-minute drive to work. Amen. Yeah. So talk to God, because he wants to hear your voice. He wants to get into the details of your life, but he's a gentleman. So you have to invite him in.